Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast that brings you the latest news from around the world. We have a lot of ground to cover, but first, let's dive into our top story. A humanitarian crisis is unfolding in the Spanish enclave of Ceuta, where tens of thousands of migrants have attempted to cross the border from Morocco. The situation has been chaotic, with reports of overcrowding, violence, and tragedy. According to the latest numbers, at least 67 people have lost their lives in the attempt to cross the border, including some who drowned and others who were killed in a stampede. The Spanish government has announced plans to install a 500-meter-long containment barrier along the sea border, and a majority of EU countries have called for emergency talks to address the situation. The migrants, mostly from Morocco, had hoped to find a better life in Spain, but many have already returned to Morocco, with estimates suggesting that around 60,000 people crossed into Ceuta before being escorted back. The city of Ceuta is still reeling from the crisis, with residents describing an uneasy calm and security forces working to maintain order. While some migrants remain determined to stay in Ceuta, others have expressed frustration and desperation, saying they were forced to return to Morocco without access to food or basic necessities. As the situation continues to unfold, we'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that this crisis has highlighted the complex and often fraught issues surrounding migration and border control. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a significant development in the world of politics, where bipartisan efforts are underway to address some of the nation's most pressing issues. Recently, a group of governors from both sides of the aisle gathered to discuss ways to improve election security and integrity. This meeting comes on the heels of concerns raised by several state leaders about potential federal interference in upcoming elections. At the forefront of this conversation is Governor Wes Moore of Maryland, who has been vocal about his concerns regarding voter suppression and the importance of ensuring that all citizens have an equal opportunity to cast their ballots. Governor Moore has also expressed his commitment to working with governors from both parties to find common ground on these critical issues. On the other side of the debate are Republican leaders, including Senator Josh Stein of North Carolina, who argue that stricter voter identification laws and deadlines for mail-in ballots are necessary to prevent voter fraud. However, Democratic leaders counter that such measures could disproportionately affect marginalized communities and undermine the democratic process. The National Governors Association has traditionally been a bipartisan organization, but the current political climate has created tension among its members. Despite these challenges, Governor Moore remains optimistic about the possibility of finding common ground, stating that party bosses shouldn't be determining who members of the party are. The people should be the ones to have a final say on that. With both parties deeply invested in the outcome, it's crucial that leaders from all sides work together to ensure that the democratic process is protected and that every citizen's voice is heard. We will continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the current state of election security in our country? Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #BarbarasBulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to bring you a developing story from the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Reports have emerged of a significant escalation in hostilities, with both sides suffering losses. According to sources, a Russian-owned container ship was sunk in the Black Sea by Ukrainian forces, resulting in an unspecified number of casualties. In a separate incident, the city of Kiev came under heavy attack, with multiple missile strikes and drone attacks reported. The assault, which is believed to be one of the most intense in recent weeks, resulted in the loss of at least 10 lives and numerous injuries. Residential buildings, infrastructure facilities, and even the Lithuanian embassy were damaged in the attack. It's essential to note that both Russia and Ukraine have denied targeting civilians, despite the mounting evidence of civilian casualties. The international community continues to call for a peaceful resolution to the conflict, with many leaders urging restraint and de-escalation. As the situation remains volatile, we'll continue to monitor developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. It's crucial to approach this story with empathy and understanding, recognizing the human cost of conflict and the need for diplomatic solutions. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.